Hello everyone, Mrs. Hamby again with function notation number 2. What we want to do now is we want to use function notation to find the output given our input. We have our input of -2, but we want to figure out our output based on this graph. This is our function. So I know it's not labeled there, it should be. So this is your function f of x. And so what we're going to do is we're going to look, remember whatever is here is like your x. So we know x equals -2. What we need to figure out is if x is -2, what is our y going to equal? That's what we're trying to figure out. And so what we're going to do is we're going to go on our x-axis to -2, it's right there, and then we're going to actually put a dot where the function exists. And so we know that when x is -2, our y, our output, is going to be 4. And you can also write that as an ordered pair. So it's going to be -2, 4. Remember, this is your x, your input. So if we plug in -2, we get an output, our y, of 4. All right, so let's do a couple more. So if our function is at -2 or -1, our x, our input, is at -1, we're going to go up and try and figure out our output. And that one's a little tricky because it's kind of in the middle. So it's between 3 and 4. I would say it's 3.5. Or you can even say 3.5. Either one. That's weird. All right. So you could write it as an ordered pair. It's going to be -1, 3.5. And I don't know why it keeps doing that. All right. So the next one is going to be f of 0. So when our function is at 0, we go up to where the red line is. We know our y is going to be 3. So it's going to be the point 0, 3. Same thing here. We're going to go to the right 2 and then go down to where our function is and that figure out what our y point is. So we know what our x is. We've got to figure out our y. Our y is going to be at -1. So f of 2 is going to be the point 2, -1. Right, so the next slide, I want you to go ahead and try those yourself. Before you try it, I did want to point out, I don't know why, but this line is super dark. That is not your y-axis. This is your y-axis. So make sure you realize that this is the point here at your origin, 0, 0. I don't know why that line is so dark. So go ahead, pause the video. Try these 3 yourself to make sure you know how to do it. All right, now hopefully you paused that video, tried it yourself. Now we're going to go ahead and we're going to do it together to make sure you're right. So we're going to go on our x-axis to -2. So here's our origin, left 1, left 2, go up to where our graph is. And that is going to be at 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's the point -2, 4. So when our x is -2, our y is +4. Now we're going to do f of -1. So we're going to go from the origin, left 1, go right where our graph is. Our graph is this parabola. And so it's going to be, we went up 1. So it's going to be the point -1, 1. Now where is the x0? That's going to be right here at the origin. So when our x is 0, guess what? We don't go up or down. We stay right here. Our y is also going to be 0. So it's the point 0, 0. Okay. All right. We're now going to kind of go the opposite way. So here it says we need to figure out what x is when f of x equals 3. So what that means is it says, hey, we know what our y coordinate is. We know our y is 3. We need to figure out what is our x. It's kind of going backwards. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to go on our y-axis and we're going to go to 3. 1, 2, 3. And you'll notice on our y-axis at 3, we actually have a couple of answers. So we could put this as an answer, this one as an answer, even way over here this as an answer. So we actually have two x coordinates that would give us the correct answer. So we could put, what does that look like? It looks like -1.5. So x would equal -1.5. You can also put 1, 2.5, -2.5. And then you could put it way over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm going to say 7.5. So all three of those are where our function is at 3. So any one of those would be, actually all three of those are our answers. All right, now we're going to do when our y is at -2. So when y is -2, what is our x? So we're going to go to -2 on our y, -1, -2, and we're going to put all the dots that are at -2. So that would be when x is +1, when x is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we have one over here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, -5, when x is -5. Guess I should have done the negative first. Negative, then 1, then +5. Oh well. And now the last and final one it's asking you is when y is 0. When y is 0, what is our x? So we're going to go when y is 0. That would be on the x-axis. So we would do this point, as well as that point. So there's 3 points. And remember, if it's on the x-axis, those are called your x-intercepts. Where does it cross the x-axis? X-intercept. X-intercept. So we're going to list all of our x-intercepts. They're going to be at -1, 2, 3, 4, -4, at 0, and at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we have 3 x-intercepts, and that is when our y is 0. What is our x? It's going to be at -4. So we could write it as a point -4, 0, 0, 0, and 6, 0. Those would be all 3 of our x-intercepts. All right, so the next slide, I want you guys to go ahead and try that one yourself. Notice the graph looks similar. The difference is what it's asking you. When y is 4, what is our x? When y is 3, what is our x? When y is 0, what is our x? And remember, you can just kind of approximate it. You don't have to be completely accurate. Just try and about where it's at. So thanks for watching. And if you have questions, please join the Meet and Ask Me questions.